Hi, Anthony.
Hey, yeah, there you are. All right. I'll let you get going. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. I'm gonna try to just shift hosting of this from me to you. Not exactly sure I know how to do. I've done it before.
So, okay, perfect. All right, Robert, are you here with us? Who's that? Let me see.
Yes, I'm here.
There he is. All right, my man. Let's got a bunch of AI bots on this end. People are slammed today, but let's chat, my man. Can you see me?
Yes, I can.
All right, all right. Where are you at in the process? How is it going with email campaigns? Talk to me. I'd like to see where you're at.
I just barely signed up on HomeBot. I'm already sending, sending it to home buyers. It's coming along. I'm working on my reviews, and that's from what I'm at. I'm getting some printed items for myself to start door knocking in a week or two.
Okay.
But it's coming along slowly but
Right
surely.
here is room 5.
Okay.
Anyways, Jeff,
And
can you?
there's a chair in there for you.
Thank you.
Jeff.
All right.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Hang on.
Okay, the only thing I want to say is that when he
Yeah.
comes out and afterwards and tells
Hang
you
on.
what's the problem,
Just a second.
Jeff, can you mute your mic or just shut it down? We got it. There we go. All right. All right, Miss Westcott, you still with me? This Bullhead City, is that you I see? All right.
Good morning.
Morning, how are you?
Really good. Really good.
Good, good. Good to see you.
I got my new shirt. Where's it at? My shirt. Miss Bullhead City Real Estate.
Love it. Okay, yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, I like that.
Thank you. It's official now.
It's official. So you got everything squared away with the
Everything's all squared. With the
excellent.
Corporation Commission, with the Department of Real Estate, and with the Board of Realtors. Everything's now all official.
Perfect, perfect. And you're getting up off the tarmac. That's key.
Yes.
Now we're gonna be talking about that today, about, see, I feel like a lot of you are at that point, where you just get it approved. And I'm gonna talk about, a lot of members are kind of afraid to like mess around with the Google business profile, thinking they're gonna get, a hard suspension, but we're gonna be talking about that in a moment. Okay, we got Mr. Fresno here, Miss Oklahoma City. Okay, all right, team. So here we go. We're just gonna have like a little, it's a small group today, and we're just gonna keep it, a free form, mastermind. So anything you guys want to bring up, we'll talk about it. And, with that being said, any wins that anyone wants to talk about to start off? Any wins at all?
I have one. Oh, am I muted?
Good morning.
Morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, look at those
Okay.
arms. Do you see that, Miss Bullhead City? That's how they look in Fresno.
Well, I see his TikToks all the time of him at the gym, so it doesn't surprise me.
So really cool win. It was, they know me, I'm friends with, but I got an award today. Let me rewind. A couple of days ago, I got an award. I had no idea. Somebody's using Mr. Fresno, and the guy's name is Matt, but I can't get anybody to give me his last name. They always say I don't remember his last name, and they didn't have his phone number. So he's actually like starting to send business my way, in essence, because everybody's Googling Mr. Fresno, but they're asking for Matt. So it's kind of interesting that that's happening. So I went scrolling through social media to find somebody using Mr. Fresno on Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. There's a Mr. Fresno, like some other bodybuilders and stuff like that, but there's nobody using it as real estate. So then I started scrolling through Google, and as I went down towards the end of page 1, I saw this thing saying that I was awarded #1 realtor in Fresno, or best realtor in Fresno for 2024. So I clicked on it to see what that was and look into it. And sure enough, it says that 3 people have to nominate you. They go through a board, they show the board, and then it even has a little button that you click. It says view website, and it takes people automatically to the DLE website for Mr. Fresno. So somebody did some kind of backlinking work on it. And when I saw it, I said, Anthony, did you do this? He's like, nope, that's all you, buddy. So I haven't found who has referred me to this, but it was really cool. So I get that. And I just posted it in story because I wanted to, meta infuse it before I do a real post about it. But I was so excited. I was like, I couldn't wait. I was like a little kid. So I put it up there. And sure enough, that weekend, they saw from my social media the award, and I got 2 leads, one that we're signing the listing contract on Friday, and the other one they're already talking, and we're going to get ready to list for January. So we're in the process of that. And then the additional thing, what was that?
Love that. 2 listings. All right.
2 listings off one story that, they disappear in 24 hours. So it was really cool. But there's also a link there. Maybe I can share it. You guys can go. I don't know if it helps, but whatever this place is, you have to be nominated 3 times, and they do something, and they rate off your reviews and the feedback. And it says you have to have a 95% or above, rating on your reviews for Google. So that's in essence what it is.
Wow.
But it was really cool to have that happen. And of course, then I go and I meet. One of the referrals was a friend saw me, and then it's his mom is taking care of his aunt. So when I went in there and I laid down as Anthony calls it, the Ninja Star, the metal business card, and I laid out the buyer seller packet that I have, all that stuff like that. They were like, no, you're hired. They're like, we're not interviewing anybody. You're the guy to go to. So it's really cool.
Love that. Great. Huge wins. Thank you for sharing that. But that's a great point. A lot of these, businesses and people that vote for, because like Google acronym E, right? Expertise, experience, authoritativeness and trustworthiness. It's all city specific. So this organization, obviously they trust Google's organic recommendations, and you're now able to leverage Mr. Fresno and that content to meta infuse and get more listings. That's excellent. Miss Oklahoma City kind of experienced something similar, and what we're learning with the technology, with the meta infusing on the social media, it's tracking a lot of attention. Miss Oklahoma City, you with us? Can you hear me?
Yes, I was actually going to share my win after Mr. Fresno wrapped up.
You mentioned some.
I'm currently big win. So this is my 2nd year fully licensed, and I've been with the EXP the whole time, and I capped like 2 months after my cap month this last year, and it doesn't reset till October. And I got a random call on from someone from Instagram, and he's telling me that he's an out-of-state investor. He's looking to buy up some lots, kind of get them ready to resell and then turn around and list them. So that's 20 transactions through one lead. And we're sitting there talking, and I asked him, I said, how did you find my info? And I've been meta tagging everything I post on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, everything. And he just told me, he was like, I searched Oklahoma Realtor on Instagram, and your face popped up over and over and over and over again. And he goes, then I saw your name, Miss Oklahoma City. He goes, well, obviously she's who I have to call. And he goes, I was looking for someone high energy, someone who's knowledgeable. And it was so obvious. Like, I can tell all of this from just your Instagram, and now talking to you, I'm seeing it's like legit, so started talking with him, had a super positive conversation. And because of that one lead from meta tagging and meta infusing social media, I'm gonna hit icon in my second year. So I mean, like, it's just like such a fruitful thing, and it's crazy. And even though I'm literally fighting for my life against Google right now, like that was a positive thing. So
No, that is remarkable. And you know, hearing you and Mr. Fresno right now, here's what we're learning is, you see, when you're doing the metadata injections on social media, like Mr. Fresno is doing on Instagram, we have infiltrated every social network, because it's think of it like this, like we're very powerful now because the way we have the network wired is when you're doing metadata injections and launching on Instagram, like you and Mr. Fresno are, you and Mr. even though you're in Oklahoma City and Mr. Fresno's here, you guys are both connecting through interlinking. And what we're learning is that when you want, like how he Google, like for example, on, it's no different than Google, right? Like, let's say he was on Google and he searched, you know, realtors in Oklahoma City, but he did it on Instagram now. Well, with our tech and our software, by doing the metadata injections and posting, what it really, if you really think about what we're doing, is the technology was the first one created to teach Google and online search engines how to read. But if you really think about it, Instagram and Facebook, they're like mini online search engines for their own, you know, social platforms. And nobody's done this. And what we've learned, what I've learned, because I've had conversations with other members, is that we're basically, with the meta injections, you're teaching Instagram and Facebook how to read as well. Does that make sense what I'm trying to say? And if you just consistently do it over a long period of time, and you know, once you get your Google business profile approved, it's game over. You're gonna get slammed to the top quick. So that's, God, that's exciting to hear, and congratulations. So I'm so happy that, you know, I mean, that's a great story. Both of you guys. Wow.
That's amazing. Now you made me feel like that. My arms are like that big right now. Yeah, that was awesome. I put the link, just so you know, in the chat. So if you guys want to look at the thing, maybe you can get somebody to nominate you. It was a cool looking website. I know sometimes these things, they ask you to pay and stuff like that to do something, but they did it all. This one didn't ask for anything like that. I think if you want to get a plaque or something, I don't need a plaque in my house. You know, but for social media, I mean, think about it. Take a screenshot, meta infuse that, put that on your, not only on your profiles, but on your Google business page that you got, you know, whatever award and stuff like that. And, you know, see what happens. But that's amazing to be icon in your second year. So congratulations. That's dope.
thank you.
I'm jealous.
Also, on Mr. Fresno, you mentioned, you know, your nomination. I should also mention RIS Media reached out to me, and I've been nominated for Rookie of the Year for 2024 as well. So
Oh,
Nice.
all the nominations are killing it, guys.
Make sure you meta inject those nominations, because it's like a Trojan horse that you put in there, and it allows us to infiltrate that network too. You know, that's, did you guys see in the Facebook group how I posted, you know, the modern day listing package there? Did you take a look at that?
Yes.
And see, so like what we're also learning, obviously, you know, Google, generative AI, and what we're learning about how to get the come list me calls, like social media, like we're talking about now, is you have to learn how to say it to sellers. But we're still learning as we go, because next week, you know, I'm very happy to tell you guys, we've completed the software. I mean, like as far as like the mobile app is concerned, right? So when you guys are just chomping at the bit, like Mr. Fresno can't wait, you just want to post, you're going to be able to do that instantly. We already have all the accounts, and Jeff's going to do a special training session with you guys where you can download it from, you know, iTunes or Android from the, you know, the App Store, and we're going to do a quick training on that. But you can see why it's so important, right? Now, what we're still learning is, so you get the listings, right? But when you're in those competitive situations, is how to leverage the software to actually help your clients' homes and your pictures and virtual tours infiltrate every, you know, real estate website in the world to get them to rank higher. You see what I'm saying? So you can increase buyer traffic to the listings. And we're basically learning as we go. But the bottom line is, it is true. It does work. And, you know, when you're going on these listing appointments and you have exclusive tech to help your clients, you know, 10x their online exposure, it's game over, right? I mean, when you're in those competitive situations. So when Jeff does the training next week, it's going to be a combination of showing you how to show a homeowner on a listing appointment, how you know, inject the metadata to help them, and then obviously half could be to help the homeowner, then half for your SEO when you're launching it in the MLS. So, okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I actually have a story about that on a listing presentation. I had a listing presentation last week, and it was my first listing presentation I've done since I've joined DLE. And I just kind of explained to them like how the like text 88000 kind of sign writer works. And I was like, we're not going to post all the pictures. And I was worried about pushback on that. I'm not going to lie. And this guy sitting across from me, he was like, I don't know what you just said, but that all sounds fantastic. And I haven't heard of another agent who's utilizing this on any of their stuff. He goes, I've talked to a couple, and like the fact that you're like pushing our listing through like algorithms and whatnot, he was like, that's a
Doing
no-brainer.
well, comma, just trying to
Won
stay
the
cool.
listing appointment
Period.
because of it.
How about
So
you guys?
it was a really successful listing appointment, being able to present all the DLE stuff for the first time. So won that listing because of it.
So you talked about, did you talk about the short code sign writer, or did you talk about the metadata?
The short code sign writer, and then also all of the meta infusion and tagging. So I like presented both and said, this is how this works. And it's a way to push traffic into, you know, your listing. And on top of that, I'll go door knock around the neighborhood. I'll let them know about our first open house, get your neighbors to come, like all the things that, you know, are in the handbook that you guys have been talking about. I just pushed all of it. And he was like, that sounds fantastic. Like, let's do it. So.
Right. They want to see that you're an Oklahoma City real estate wealth management expert, a local expert selected by DLE, backed by eXp Global Connections. That's the most powerful brand. The way I say it on a listing appointment, I just keep it simple, whatever you're comfortable. But yeah, you just say, hey, look, it's an interactive sign that because your job is to have conversations with potential buyers and get them out of their house, into the house you're selling, and make them fall in love. People make decisions based on how they feel. And so, yeah, when you're like, the way I explain it, it's like online dating, right? It's like when you post all these photos of yourself on social media, you're only posting a few of the best pictures, right? And your goal is to get the date with the buyer, right? And so what it allows you to do is, obviously, they text the short code system, sends them the virtual tour, you have that conversation, you're teed up. But that's excellent. I'm glad you're saying that on a listing appointment. Now, how did he so he responded positively? Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, I kind of explained to them, because in my listing presentation, I also have like a 12-point marketing plan that I've had with my listing presentation forever, and it's done great. And I just explained to him, in addition to this, I said, this isn't in here yet because I'm working on revamping my presentation, but I told him I've started basically using meta infusion data, which helps boost your property. It boosts it. Like I explained it in the sense of like, because this is a younger guy, I explained it in the sense of like the Instagram algorithm. I said, you know, obviously Instagram boosts certain things over others based off of all of these different factors and variations.
That's genius what you said, because I've only been thinking MLS and on the real estate websites. You know what I mean? Because I've been focused on experimenting with. But you're right though, because like when you launch the meta infused photos on Instagram and Facebook, like how the guy just called you and you got 20 potential listings, right? It's the same thing. It'll hover to the top of all the social search engines too.
Yeah. So I explained it like that. And I said it also takes place on the MLS, because I think sometimes with my clients, when I start talking like realtor jargon and I talk like MLS and the listing photos and all that stuff, they just kind of start to glaze over. So I tried to put it to him in a way that he would understand based off of what I perceived of him. And so I kind of used something that is for the most part common knowledge, which is like social media algorithms, and then played it into, you know, the MLS data and how that works. And he had a really positive response. He basically was like, I'm not 100% sure what you just said, but I love it. So let's do
See,
it.
See, that's no, like that. I love that because that's the key with the listing book I posted because when you can print it up, hand it to them, like Mr. Fresno said with the metal ninja star, right? See,
Yeah.
when I dropped that listing book, and then because I typed up those pages for you, those 2 pages, right? And that's genius. I didn't even think so. You can talk social media, and you can talk like we syndicate through the MLS and EXP Global. And it infiltrates every real estate website in the world to get your listing to stay at the top. But
Yeah.
I got Jeff to insert that in the book now. Social media, of course,
Yeah. Because I feel
And-
like that's how buyers look for homes nowadays. I mean, yes, they use Zillow, yes, they use Redfin, but everything is moving to social media, in my opinion. I think the Gen Z and the younger millennials, like they look for homes on social media. That's where they're at. So I try to like explain it that way to my listings and my sellers too.
No, that makes sense because I mean we've done it with Google, right? And since we've done Google, it's just a walk in the park with any social network, you know. And I remember Mr. Tustin was telling me he did it on Nextdoor, but it makes sense. I mean, that's brilliant. So yeah, the best advice, the next step is because Jeff has that short. He has a contact in Arizona where they can print them for $10 a pop. You know what I mean? Those books.
Right.
So
Yeah, I have one. I'm trying to navigate like how do I incorporate them together with some of my like personal stuff I've done. So me and Jess have been working on that and getting it done so we can get these printed and start getting these new ones presented at the new listing appointments. So we got that in the works, but I definitely have been utilizing the handbook and the one you posted, Anthony, because I think there's great info in there that I like want a majority of that and then some of my stuff sprinkled in. So I'll have to post it once it.
I'm sorry, but I have a designer on file because I need to mail you. I'm ordering them right now, but the updated DLE book, the updated listing package and home buyer seller guide, and that metal business card he's talking about. Oh, you got one.
Yeah, I have one. It got mailed to me when I joined. So yeah, I've been, like you said, it's 10 days left and this is the Bible. I've been reading through this, highlighting, marking everything. So
yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you know what's up. But yeah, it's just when you say something fancy like that, and here's the key. I get the Ninja Star, the metal Mr. Claremont card, and I put it in page 13, which is the withdrawal guarantee. It doesn't say the C word. That's cancel. You never say that, right? But you do that, and then I'll get the magazine and just the Claremont Bulletin, and I'll bookmark that now in the Meta Infusion section. So when you say something like that, and it's printed and they can look at it, they're like, wow. And the other realtors don't say it, it's just game over. You see what I mean? That's huge. So yeah, and that's exciting. I'm glad you guys are saying this. Okay. All right. Anyone else got some wins? Let's hear it. I mean, these are excellent wins. I mean, you guys are crushing it. Let's see here. Mr. Fontana, any wins? What's going on in your world? Let's see who else we got here. Got some bots. Okay. Mr. Phoenix.
Actually, I'll mention something else. So remember how we were doing the Google Maps and you're leaving reviews for local businesses? And the idea is obviously you leave businesses, you get a higher rating as a local guide, right? So one of the things I just got sent recently from the Google Maps was that my review of Lowe's Home Improvement, where I say, as a realtor, it's important that I have the ability to get in and get the products that I need. Sometimes there's a last second repair or something I need, or whatever, smoke alarms, fire alarms for appraisers. And I put something like that so it refers back to who I am and what I do. Just got since April, so that's 3 months, 100,000 views.
Oh my God.
So it's
wow. I'm so glad you brought that up. Miss Oklahoma City, did you hear that?
yes, sorry, I had a seller call me, so I have her on mute real quick. But yes, I did hear that. Yes.
When we get your profile approved, you need to become a local guide. We'll talk about that. But Mr. Fresno, that is genius because all the homeowners are definitely going to Lowe's for home improvement. I mean, why else would you be there?
And the funny thing is, you got like places like Save Mart or whatever trying to get you on those little teeny tiny divider things are on their shopping carts. Well, now just think of it that way. It's a free way to get an advertisement on the shopping cart of Lowe's. Why are they paying attention more to mine? I don't know. Maybe because right up front it says as a local realtor, you know, and then that my Google thing we make sure is your logo, right? That's what we decided we were doing with that. So and then I go and add photos, and it always asks for updates, and it gives me points as a guide for going back and updating it or updating what photos. So you can go and it reminds you to do it. So every now and then I'll go back and I'll just update a new photo. And then I'm starting to collect a lot of, surprisingly, followers on my Google
Local guide.
local guide. Yeah, which I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, see, that local guide account is like a combination of Yelp and Instagram in one. You know what I mean? You know, here's another funny Google story. So for me, for example, no, that's genius. Let me just tack on that. When you in a week from now, when Jeff does the training and you get the technology in your hand so you can do it quickly, it's brilliant because, you know, you should, because we could do like 7 keywords, right? But next time you post a local guide review on a business, maybe you should do something like, you know, choose keywords so it'll, you know, keep your reviews slammed at the top. We got to brainstorm more on that. But I'm thinking if you dropped a local guide meta-infused photo at Lowe's, for example, and did something so your review stays at the top, we got to learn more about that and keep going down that road, because 100,000 organic views for free is incredible. I mean, that's massive, right? I mean, think about that many people. And Lowe's is a brilliant place. It's like a school. It's like, of course, the homeowners are there. What I would encourage you to do is figure out if you could get the We Heart Mr. Fresno billboard staked it around Lowe's. I wonder what you could tell Lowe's as a local, you know, influencer of Fresno to convince them to put those up. That would be massive.
Well, what if instead of Lowe's, because in the Lowe's, there's the smaller restaurants. Then you go and you say, hey, look, Mr. Local Restaurant, I just got 100,000 views off Lowe's. What do you think I could do to your business as I bring and I review your business?
Right.
And then you put the little sign in between the Lowe's and the little restaurant or something like that. Maybe ask them if you can put something there.
I mean, now digital billboard and you got an in real life billboard and shit. They see you driving the Mr. Fresno mobile, they're gonna be like, this guy's everywhere. Got the Fresno Bulletin up in the restaurants, but you're right. See, now you're an authority, right? Because Google trusts your local guide account, right? So everything your reviews will outweigh anyone else that just isn't a local guide, for example, or if they're level 1, 2, or 3. You're at least what, level 7?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, imagine you going, see, this is where it ties in with the print and email campaigns, right? Because if you went to that local restaurant now and you show them, hey, when I drop a review, I'm trusted by Google as the local guide for Fresno, and I can drive hundreds of thousands of, you know, viewers from my online audience to your restaurant. I want a 5-star review in return. I want to put my We Heart Mr. Fresno sign out here, and I would like to include you in the digital version of the Fresno Bulletin, right? You got your data, right? You uploaded that to HomeBot, yeah?
Yeah. And my HomeBot's like 2 weeks running, and now it's starting to pull leads. It's starting to send me more and more information. So today I'll be reviewing that, but I even got somebody that messaged me directly saying, I want to know what's particular in my neighborhood, what's going on in my neighborhood.
Go door knock them. When they do
Yeah.
that, home buyer seller guide, Fresno Bulletin, and if they are selling, pull out the Ninja Stars, slam it in the face. You know what to do. Remember, hot listing leads, you know? But the key with that is you can stay consistent, right? So for example, Mr. Laverne, what we've done with him, you know, next door here, he loves doing the print mail, EDD, mass mail notepad campaigns. They're highly effective because they got a huge shelf life, and the print factory used EDD. He hit his geofarm of North Laverna 5,000 homes, and he got 2 listings in Dublin, and both of them made a huge amount of money, and he's keeping that rolling. But here's the key. He's So he's in, his home. So here's the kicker. He then got the 5,000, those same 5,000 homes that has his notepad. He then got the first name, the same data set on those 5,000 homeowners' name, address, home address, email, and phone number, and he plugged it into HomeBot. So think about it, right? Now they're getting they have the notepad sitting on the coffee table, and now he's slamming them with the HomeBot leads, and he's now getting, a lot of traction. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I've been doing that. So we went back, and instead of just doing the Geo Farm, we did my initial sphere, which that took a little longer. And then we started plugging in the addresses of all the recent sales that I've had, because they've seen my sign, they've seen my open house, they've seen my car. And now we've been going back and hitting those specific areas too. So they're already on, probably, and then now they're like on, 6 or 7 impressions.
God, I love that. No, that's genius. That's that local guy, you're right. Like, I mean, just think about it. When you get the Meta Infusion in your hand and you're just walking downtown Fresno, you just start dropping all your local guide reviews consistently with the Meta Infuse. Think about it. Because if you drop, okay, you're at a bar in Fresno, the way we had the mobile app wired, you could translate it and say, hey, this is the best bar in Fresno. Like, put yourself in the mindset of what people would Google, and you could like explain what it is and put your keywords in there and just tie it in. I mean, you guys are crushing it. Hang on, that is genius.
Well, one of the other cool things, which I didn't know Google did, it's now starting to rate me for the Fresno area. It says I'm top 10% for bar reviews. I'm top 10% or top 5% for hardware store reviews, stuff like that. So I mean, think about it. I guess if I was smart enough, I would have took a screenshot. So then when I go into a bar, I can say, look, I'm rated this by Google, top 10%. And that would encourage them even more. Because who was one of the guys on the team that did the coasters?
Oh, Mr. Cypress? That was
Yeah. So I haven't heard lately how that went, but he bought free Mr. Cypress coasters, gave them to the restaurant to have them use them as their coasters for the bar, right?
Yeah. And then I think he put like a QR code and said, give me a 5-star review and I'll buy you a drink.
Oh, wow. That could be really expensive here in Fresno.
Oh, okay. Speaking of reviews, right, check this out. Miss Oklahoma City, listen, everyone listen. So if your profile gets suspended, you got to be fragile with it for like a week or two. Like, don't make any sudden changes, right? But wait, when you go past like this 2-week time period, you can rattle the cage pretty hard. So for example, Google kept doing these updates and algorithms or whatever, and I had like 130 reviews, and then I shot me down to like 80 reviews, or it was like 60 reviews, and then I kept selling houses and I got my reviews back up to 80, right? So that link I sent you, the key is to get like a support person on the phone. And I said, hey, so I hit up Mr. Forney in Texas, and I'm like, hey, just drop me a review, and it didn't come through. And I'm like, what the heck? But then I just sold 2 houses in Claremont, but Google tracks the local IP addresses, and those reviews went through. So I knew there was a clock, right? And what I said to the Google rep, I was like, hey, I'm more than just a real estate agent. I'm a local estate influencer, and I have a network of other agents that we help each other, right? Like, we send referrals back and forth, and we did do business together because we're networking. And I have a lot of reviews that are not getting posted. And the response was, no, sorry. It's, it violates our content policy. But I kept pressing the button, and I was like, no, there's a mistake. No, there's a mistake. No, there's a mistake. Did it like a listing lead. And then I woke up the next day and I had 160 reviews, and like 85 reviews out of nowhere just boom appeared. And now I'm just dominating Claremont even more because I went from 80 to 160 plus reviews overnight, and they're staying. And then all these reviews appeared. I responded in an SEO optimized way by saying things like, hey, thank you for being a part of my journey to allow me to become the most trusted realtor in Claremont, right? And I started responding by saying things like, thank you for selecting me as the top real estate agent in Claremont. You had an option to select other realtors. I'm so glad we got connected. So I'm telling you this because whether it's getting your profile approved or if there's a soft suspension on your reviews, don't be afraid if you keep pressing the buttons and, hammering Google that they're just going to like delete your profile and it'll never come back. That's not the case. Google rewards the, Google business owners that are persistent because they want to see, is this a real business owner fighting for their reviews and their online presence? Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah. For example, Ms. Henderson, if your journey is just getting your Google business profile off the ground, is you got to treat it like a hot listing lead and the money's in the follow-up.
Right.
So, and when you're dealing with Google, it's just all it is an algorithm. They have a call center in India, and you're just dealing with people that, are following a script, and you just keep hammering them. They eventually press a button and it all goes through. So
Yeah.
remember,
I'll add to that just because I am dealing with a soft suspension on my profile, and me and my assistant both were hammering the community board, because right now when you click contact us, you basically fill out a form and then you get like a generated AI bot response to your email. And they're like, we see that this is what you're struggling with. And it's like, I already knew this. Like, I need a person. So honestly, the community forum has helped a lot because there's people sitting there responding, giving you information, tips, things like that. So I found a link, finally was able to get that filled out, and hopefully we'll have some fixes soon. So
right. It's like there's a magic link that comes out of nowhere, and then you just got to keep going, and then eventually you just get what you want, but you just don't give up because the payoff is massive once you get it approved, right? So that's the key with all that. So, God, excellent. So yeah, and then what else? So yeah, Mr. Fresno's killing on the local guide game. Any other wins in the group here that anyone wants to bring forward? No? Okay. Well, we got a solid 20 minutes left. And, here's the name of the game right now. In 1 week from today, we're going to have a special training, and it's going to be about getting, the MetaInfusion technology in your hands so you can use it quickly and easily. As long as you're just consistently following the steps in the DLE book and just posting consistently the MetaInfuse content and videos and becoming, Mr. Fresno or becoming Miss Oklahoma City and just literally living your designation. That's what Google wants. That's what the homeowners want. They're looking for that. And what we're learning is over, time, our SEO will sink any company in the world as long as you're consistent. So just don't forget that. And every top real estate coach in the world right now, high performance coaches, everyone right now is preaching geofarming. They're preaching print and email marketing. And it's so important that, you're the first one to go outside of your spheres and just blitz your city with the data set, just like Mr. Fresno did. And, it's powerful. So does anyone want to talk anything about their print and email campaigns? Any questions at all? Just shoot off the hip.
I'll just add that since getting my merch, I got 2 polos, 2 t-shirts, and 2 hats with my logo and Miss Oklahoma City on it. And almost every single person I know has been coming up to me or texting me and going, what's all this Miss Oklahoma City stuff? And I'm explaining to them, well, that's who I am. Like, that's my response when they're like, what's this Miss Oklahoma City stuff? Like, I've had girls ask me, is it a pageant thing? Like, are you running in a pageant? And I'm like, no, I am Miss Oklahoma City. I'm your go-to local expert. And they're like, oh, that's really cool. They're like, so like, I just like need to reach out to you if I have like questions on stuff. I'm like, absolutely. And so I'm like, here, make sure you're following, make sure you're seeing this stuff, like tell your friends, you know? So I'm like showing them. And once I get those metal business cards in, I'm going to be ninja starring people too. So it's really cool to see like this being so fresh and so new. Like every morning at the gym, I'm wearing my Miss Oklahoma City t-shirt and my Miss Oklahoma City hat, like I have a uniform for the gym, and
Yeah.
people stopping and looking and asking questions. And so not so much print and email marketing, but like the actually wearing the branding is going a long way for me. So
Look, I love that you said that. Like, see, the only thing that I will always preach is vertical integration. Well, we can own and control that no one can take from us, right? If you just consistently just do a few of the things I'm telling you, you'll crush it. Like, you know, Mr. and Miss Yakima in Washington, they're just dominating the keyword appraisal. And they've got like 7 signed from, they just want to own one keyword and focus on that and the lifestyle brand, which you're talking about. And if you just do those 2 things, you can get 10, 15 listings a year just by doing that. Right? And for you, what I'm really excited, when your Google business profile is approved and the first keyword you dominate is Miss Oklahoma City, I swear to God, like ask Mr. Fresno, ask them all. When you put Miss Oklahoma City massive on the side of your car with your logo, you just blow up, you know? And think about it, in real estate, like you're 2 years deep, it's not rocket science. All we're trying to do is be approached by strange people that we don't know consistently, have them come up to us and start a conversation about real estate. That's all marketing is. That's it, right? And so, yeah, I mean, look, I've got 3 daughters right now and I'm pinned down and I can't go to the gym. But what I can do is I stuck my little We Heart Mr. Claremont signs out there, and I swear to God, I went on my second multi-million-dollar listing appointment because they're walking their dogs and then they see me popping out of the driveway, they see the sign and they feel comfortable approaching me. So I love that you're doing that. You know, go hard. And then, you know, and that's the key. Like, and when they're thinking of selling, they're going to Google Miss Oklahoma City. They're going to scope out your reviews. And speaking of reviews, so because I figured out how to keep, you know, being so persistent with Google, I'm going to talk with a lot of the members, but I'm going to organize a new reviews mob where all the DLE members team up again for the colleague reviews because it works. And I've got a few different groups rolling, and we're going to get that going, you know, sometime next week after Jeff does the training on the app, because that's going to be important for you to get yours off the ground quicker. How many reviews are on your profile?
Once I got it verified with the first video I sent, so they verified it because I sent in the video,
Right.
and then they suspended me. So before I got suspended, I had a bunch of family and friends leave reviews, and I think I got up to, I want to say it was like 15, which is low, I know, but I'm like following back up with, you know, past clients and things to get those reviews left. And I have a handful that are ready to go for video reviews. I'm just waiting on some things. And then some of my vendor partners are ready to leave me reviews as well. So I have a bunch of people right here ready to blast me once I have it back up and running. So
You got to coach them on reviews. Like, getting a video review is challenging, but just get a regular review, but make sure they say keywords in the review, like top real estate agent in Oklahoma City, best realtor near me in Oklahoma City, right? Like, make sure they're using the keywords. So coach them on that. That's very important.
Right. I've had a lot of them that say like best realtor ever on there. So that's good to know to coach on like the keywords for the reviews as well, and like including Miss Oklahoma City in the review. So I'll definitely be making sure.
Well, remember, this is what you got to remember. Like the guy that found you on Instagram, he was looking for what? Not a real Oklahoma City specialist, right? That's what the people want. I don't care if you're a buyer or a seller. That's what they want. That's what Google wants. That's why it's really important. Google Eat. They want an Oklahoma, you know, city real estate person that's got the expertise, experience, Oklahoma real estate authority, and real estate trustworthiness in your city. So they have to say, you know, the key words in the and then respond in an SEO optimized way. And
Okay.
then what I organize with a few of the other members, we're going to start like a WhatsApp thread, because on iPhone, you can only do 20 members or 20 people. And we're just going to create a reviews mob where we could, as colleagues, drop the, SEO optimized reviews for you. And we're going to meta inject the pictures with it. So I've got a plan there. So that's good.
Love that.
What's that?
I said I love that. I also just got nominated as put as the Oklahoma EXPYP state leader. So I'm going to be relying on some of them for reviews too. I'm going to blast them, be like, hey, I'll leave you guys a review if you leave me one. And that way just boost even more. So
Well, do it on the spot. Pull out look, here's another trick, right? Like when your profile is approved, you
mhm.
can click on your Google. Let's say you're at that, young professional networking, gig, right? Well, when you click on Google Maps, just remember when you you hit your business, you scroll down. For example, Mr. Rancho, he's a member. He's going to go speak at the Live LA at Anaheim here. And, he wants me to take him with, and we're going to, have a little meeting with, Leo Pareja, the CEO of EXP. We're all going to, chat and whatnot. But anyways, I'm going to go into that event, right? And where it says share profile, I'm going to have my phone in my pocket and I'm going to hit the airdrop button. There's an airdrop button, right? So
Okay.
it's hit airdrop. You all you do is click on your Google business profile. You hit share profile, and then you hit the airdrop button. And when you walk into an event and you're having conversation, like, hey, pull up your phone, and your airdrop review will be there. Click on it and be like, hey, drop me a 5-star review, and I'll hit you back. Do it right now. Because they're not going to do it when they go home, and take their phone out of their hand and just hit 5 stars. Best realtor in Oklahoma City. Like, great. I'm going to get you back. By the way, I'll educate you on, my knowledge, and we'll be referral partners. But like when I go to this event in Anaheim, if I really wanted to hit it hard, thousands of real estate agents there. It's a numbers game. I'll just be having conversations, airdropping, getting Google reviews. That's got to be your mindset.
Yeah. I'll be there too, Anthony. So I'll
Oh,
get to meet you in person at Build LA. Yeah. I'll
You're
be
going to
there.
go to Build LA. Okay, when are you going? What time?
We're flying in tomorrow afternoon. So I'm going to be
Awesome.
there all day Thursday.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to rendezvous. That's exciting.
I love it.
I'll introduce you to all the big dogs. Yeah. So fun. But anyways, I guess we'll practice that strategy together, huh? Shit, we'll make it a reality.
Yep.
So you better get that Google business profile approved, girlfriend. You better slam Google hard today.
Trust me, I am. It's been all morning, nonstop. So
Good. All right. Excellent. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Okay. Mr. Phoenix, can you hear me? Mr. Phoenix, Mr. Fontana, do we got any wins over there? Let's see.
Hey, Anthony. Yeah.
What's up, my man? How are you?
How's it going? Good. Yeah, I mean, we have our Fontana listing it's went into escrow last week.
Oh,
And yeah, so that one, that one was from Miss
That was-
Fontana. And I have another one in escrow too, for Fontana. This one wasn't from Miss Fontana, but yeah, so I have 2 in Fontana in escrow. And yeah, I know Monique's been getting she's been getting hit with calls. Which ones have you been getting bad? She's been appraisals.
Oh, yeah.
So she's been getting those and having some good conversations on that, and keeping in touch with some of those. So she's been getting a couple of those, and yeah, other than that, we're I was going to ask you too. I was going to reach out to you about doing the metadata infusion ourselves. Is it an app, or how do I go in and do it myself to metadata infuse the pictures?
1 week from now, we're doing the trading. So you already have your account set up with your keywords, but the best part is you're going to have a desktop version to access the app. You're
Okay.
gonna have it for Android or iOS, like on your actual phone. And just gonna do a full-on training where we got your top 30 keywords where you could add your own keywords. And I played with it this morning. It's ready to go. So
Okay,
we're
cool.
gonna do full-on training on that. So like you learn from this Oklahoma City, Mr. Fresno. So if you want to shoot off the hip and post something quickly on social, you can just do it from your phone quickly. You know, so
Okay.
that's coming within a week. And so I'm glad you're seeing it through on, you know, getting a call from Google. It's in escrow and you're closing. Once you get that money in hand, you're gonna be like, perfect, right? And then the name of the game is just to start dominating all the other keywords, you know? So
Yeah, definitely.
what other are you guys what other strategies, tactics are you guys doing? The We Heart Miss Fontana signs? Are you doing any of the prayer email campaigns, sign writer, anything else going for you?
Yeah, no, we have the HomeBot going, and we're building the email list, so we have all that going. I believe it was just last week. There was somebody in our neighborhood that had requested a CMA, you know, from that HomeBot, and
Nice.
yeah, that's somebody we have to follow up with. And yeah, I mean, we're starting to get a little bit of activity on that. We're starting to see more and more. So yeah, it's getting. I was just looking at it right now, and yeah, we have a couple of hits on it.
Yeah. Just remember, look, any you know, and you could download the app White Pages and call them direct. You're good at that. It's like a for sale, you know, it's like a FSBO or an expired. You can contact them that way. But just remember when you're when they send you that Monday HomeBot digest, because you uploaded the data for like how many thousands of Fontana homeowners, yeah?
Yeah, it was a couple thousand.
We'll get more from DeVray and load them up, because when you get those digests and they're fiddling around with any of it, you know, just any sort of response when you get that digest, it gives their name and address. That's a listing. So you got to follow up with all of those and just target them. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you have a good way to get phone numbers? Because if you bought the data without the phone numbers, that's fine. There's an app called White Pages, and I usually have a very high success rate with that app to get their phone numbers. It's like $20 a month or something, but it works.
Yeah. I get them from Fast People Search. That's pretty good too. It's free, and they're actually pretty accurate too.
Really? Okay. Good to know. So is Miss Fontana going to wrap the car? What's going on?
Well, you know what? Actually, we're probably going to be getting a new car soon, so not just yet.
Oh, okay. What's the next evolution? But that's good to hear. All right. So you got you're closing the listing call from Google, and yeah, no, I love it. So you're executing on the email campaigns. That's critical. You're collecting reviews, and you're staying the course. Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. And are you going to be at that event August 1st coming up? Red Hill Rancho?
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, I'm going to try to make it.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, thanks for sharing that with us. And but yeah, so 1 week from now you'll get a mass text, and Jeff's he will train you and you know, Monique direct, and get you guys off off to the races. So good to hear.
All right, beautiful. Thank you.
Of course. Okay. Mr. Wescovina, are you still with us?
Ya, ok, le voy a decir eso que ya lo mandaste. Y ya está el appointment para el
Right,
viernes
guys.
a las
Well,
9:30
with that
para la
being said,
inspección.
Mr. Fresno, you still there?
Ya, entonces a las 9:30 la inspección para la
I'm still here, but I couldn't.
la inspección, y ahorita ya digo
Here's the plan.
es lo que ya le mandaste
Stay on the course. Remember, acronym Google
Right.
E, everything you do. Stay consistent with the post. We're all gonna hop back on in a week,
Okay.
and we're gonna get you the Meta Infusion, technology in your hands, so you could just do it whether you're a Google local guide posting or you're using it for social media. I want you guys to just stay consistent with that and stay consistent with asking for reviews. That's all you got to do, and stick to the basics. Print and email marketing, door knocking, open houses, leverage those sign writers, and just don't forget, it's simple. you're in public living your life, wear your swag. It's all about having conversations that lead to real estate. And when it comes to meeting new people with the marketing tactics, all you're trying to do is elicit a response from someone thinking of doing something and getting to them and building rapport. Okay? Don't be the jack of all trades and master of none. Just focus on a few of the basics and you're going to be just fine. So with that being said, you know, I gotta get going here, but it was really good seeing you guys. And you're gonna get that mass text in 1 week. We're gonna do the training. And then after that training, I have some other SEO, you know, hacks that I'm gonna release to you. But I want you guys to first, you know, digest being able to download the app and have the software in your hands and, you know, be able to use it efficiently for yourself and obviously for your clients. So if you go in that Facebook group and you integrate the Meta Infusion technology in your listing pitch, it's going to set you apart from everyone. So with that being said, I'm super excited for you guys, and we'll see you in a week, okay?
Sounds good. Thank you, Anthony.
All right,
Thank
thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
¿Cuáles ha visto de acá o de la
Parece que
o de dónde han
porque le puse como 1200 que tenían todos
sí, sí,
como que cada día le están poniendo le he estado aquí a working it out, ¿verdad? Ahí le puse
ya agarró la tarjeta. No tengo nada, porque no estaba la tarjeta. Reflexionamos más la otra es porque tiene la o sea que no fuera 20 de cada uno. No escuché, pero está bien. Sí.
Pero no sé cuánto no le creo.
Pero había dicho que como que no la respondí. Esta mañana hacemos lo de lo mismo y las cosas. Ahorita lo quiero comprar en su parte. Luego tenemos que ir a tomar los fotos de un servicio. Y sí, me quedé nomás sin hablar. Sí, de estar involucrado.
Sí, exactamente, aunque se tarde más, pero aprende un poco y agarre ideas y eso, ¿verdad?
Aprender a hacer ese como lo van a volver a hacer, va a ser cierto. Para saber. Sí,
sí, ya. Yo cuando tenga lo app en el teléfono va a ser más fácil ahí
ya tienen esa persona también.
Creo que está más fácil y más conveniente.
Todo bien, seguimos.
Sí, ahorita tengo los mismos, pero es que los voy a visitar, pero quiero primero hacer esto por ayudar a estudiantes y no pasa nada que si cumplir con la felicidad o mañana y no. Por ahí tengo cruzado, ¿no? Para saber si
Sí, yo creo que está.
y entre más lo hace, pues no se le va a
También
saber.
haciendo rituales, tal vez haciendo rituales, comprar un aparatito especial para rituales.
Primero de este proyecto ya en el que ya no tengo es el más ya
Todo se mete al río y va a hacer eso. Es verdad que ahora para la mayoría, pero yo ahorita voy a ir acá en el video, me hacían el design, si hacen todo lo del proyecto, pues acá. Pero no me acuerdo el nombre, Amazon something, que está sobre la Arrowhead Way. Voy para allá, le traigo los datos. Pero si ahí pasa, yo compré t-shirts en la especial de la, pero también venden todo ahí. Y con la Oklahoma nomás tiene 2 sets, yo compré 6. Ahora no hace falta que me hagan el HK para traer diferentes colores. Porque lo he comprado desde el fin, ya tengo la membresía. Pero dije también cuando empiece a ir, empiezo a ir como mis cuenta. Y voy a ir al cine, ya pues. No tenemos 24 hours. Ese tiene aquí 24 hours, no es conmigo.
yo voy a partir a la mañana, pero
También, ya que hay todo, un poquito de todo. Aunque sea 2 sets para empezar. Yo voy a ir al la match y cualquier cosa. Pues voy a ir a correr a Velas para que me agarre el tráfico. Acá hay que traer unas fotos y a ver cuál fue esa sociedad. Tengo un potential a 9 units en Red Gardens. Del rojito de la camita, dentro de toda por allá. Pero eventualmente va a vender, está retrasando. Hacen cuadritos, 9 cuadritos, 5. En una esquina o una cosa así, no sé qué precio. Él piensa que 1.5 por 9 trash out, ahí está listo para mover. Igualito, yo creo que va a estar esa coella verde de la prima, y el 7 en carne. Y se te ve que están bien pegados, pero le dije que se debe tomar algo de idea por fuera. Para tenerle una idea, si no. Socorro para allá, el otro yo no sé cuándo llegue, ya le di una presentación y como que le ha llamado a muchos huecos y en una de ellos ahí cerca de me llamó. Pues uno le da seguimiento, si se da, y si no, no pasa nada. Pero siento que si le llevo una oferta por ya con un ingreso, pero no quiero enseñarla si tenía ningún público. Es igual a nada. Se va directo, ya le lleva uno la meta servida. Me pasó una. Me pasan 2 días una dirección de un currículum que tengo a tomar y me lo sacó y me mandó un blanco. Pero como son bien amigos, ahí vamos a pagar. Me dijo, ¿qué me está diciendo?